G'day guys, Matt here. Welcome to the channel. We are at the development block and I actually haven't been here for like 4 weeks, so there's a few things that have changed. Obviously there's a little bit of progress on the shed, but I will save that up for a separate video, so you'll just have to wait for that. The other thing that is happening, there's been a couple of just purchases, I guess you'd call them, but in preparation for the shed. We've got this big compressor here. It's a big 3-phase compressor, and we do have 3-phase power here. I believe it's a 3-phase compressor. I'm pretty sure I overheard that, but so yeah, it's a big compressor, so it can sit out. It's got the little shelter for it, so it can sit outside the shed, so it's not rattling around inside making a heap of noise. So that will be excellent. So we've got that ready. We have, I think Phil's just brought the quad sprayer down to spray around some edges and things like that. We have a little bit of progress too happening on the cabin, and something that was purchased for it was this little veranda. It's like a flat pack veranda type thing, which is very much overkill, but just saw that on an auction, on an online auction, and thought that would be handy. So yeah, it just collapses down and you lift it up, and then it's got the legs, so it's like a fully self-supporting little deck. So that that'll be going on the front of the cabin there. So we just got to get some cement blocks and get some levels and get that all set up. So that'll be good. Just help finish that off. I haven't actually done an update on the cabin for a little while. It was sort of all half done. Didn't really, it was just, everything was happening, so we didn't get around to finishing off some little bits and pieces, but it's pretty well all furnished now and pretty well ready to go. Righto, so we might do a brief update of where we're at with the cabin here. We've got the air conditioning all in and working. It's working really well. We've got the gas plumbed in. We've got the water going to it. It's all plumbed in. We can flick between rain and bore water. And we've got the septic all sorted. Well, I think it's all quiet in here now. I think there's some vacuuming going on and that sort of thing to sort of give it a last freshen up before it can be used. Really, it has kind of been used as a bit of a space just to talk and have meetings with different ones and things, but yes, we've got a new fridge, an old microwave, but just all bits and pieces, so you can come in here for morning tea, have a cuppa, and you've got the bathroom, a shower, and we've got the bed over here. Now it did actually it is meant to have another wall that comes in here, but we sort of figured it was too small, the rooms, to really do much with, so we left that wall out, and then we can have a couple of mattresses on the floor down here anyway, if need be. Now, as a bit of a summary, I guess, now that it is virtually done, I think it does pay to do a bit of research, because there are a few different types of these around, and there's some that if you can sort of get those ones, I think it would be better, but they've got all the electrical stuff in the walls, so I don't see any of this stuff, and just not, obviously you get what you pay for. This is a cheap solution to what we wanted, but it didn't come with instructions. It didn't really, we had to make up a lot as we went, and it's just I think it's wise if you know what you're getting into, so you would want to go and check out what you're buying. Not that we regret this, but it's probably if you were to buy one of these to sort of have as a home that you would live in either on the weekends or something, yeah, you'd want to make sure it's a good one. So, but for what we want, it's going to be perfect. There's no one going to be living here. It's just if we're working late or in the middle of harvest, planting, whatever. If we're doing night shift, and you just someone wants to sleep for 6 hours here, whatever it is, we've got that option now. So, I think yeah, I think it's going to be good. So it's pretty much with the deck there, we've just got to work out, it's going to be a little more complicated than we thought. It's sort of the right size, like it's basically going to cover the full width of this, but we were hoping to just sort of sit it on here on these blocks and then put some more blocks and rest it there and it'd be done. But yeah, we're going to have to work out exactly what we want to do, because these blocks are going to interfere with the big I-beam that goes underneath the deck, and yeah, that's just going to be tricky to, if we put the I-beam on this, then the deck's going to be up to here, which is not where we want it. So yeah, anyway, there's just going to be a little bit of fiddling around with that when we get a chance. It may happen before harvest. It's been pretty wet. When we've got time to do this sort of thing is usually when it's wet, and when it's wet, it's tricky to get down here. But anyway, it's good. It's usable now, so that's the main thing. Well, we're back at the main farm. We have had quite a bit of rain, so not a lot can be done at the development block. There was everyone was basically down there for a bit yesterday, doing a few different things. But yeah, we're basically all stuck at shed jobs. I think Phil and Josiah did head down there. There was a couple of just little tidy up things to do. We've probably got another 3 days until they forecast a lot more rain. Which yeah, is a little bit nervous, just with the flooding and that generally happens. So yeah, we just got to wait and see there. But we do have a few jobs to do here, so we'll get into them. What we have here this is a field bin that used to use a lot years and years ago. I've actually been using them just on my little house block the last few years. But it has actually had some grain in it from last year in it, but that's all been emptied now. But what it has had is a bit of a warp in the auger, and I'll go into a bit more detail once we get it back over to the shed. But I've just got to yeah, got to lift her up and move it about, so hopefully it doesn't fly off the front. I've got it pinned to the front of the bucket, so we'll see how we go. It makes it a lot easier to do this with a forklift, because you can see the hole in the tine and you can line it all up and do that, but I am not bringing the forklift down here. Well, we got it brought around here, so this is the bin. It's obviously not usually at this angle, but seeing as we need to pull this auger out, makes it a lot easier to do that when it's up like this. We've got a couple of stands under it, and we're just battling away at the bottom bearing. Brad's gonna yeah, cut it out, I think, so we can pull it through. But yeah, we've got the little PDO, it's a double joint PDO shaft that goes there, so it's all out. And yeah, hopefully this will mean we can just slide her out and straighten it up and then slide her back in. That's the plan, at least, anyway. Now, after a bit of fiddling around, and yeah, ended up just oxing out the, just cutting the inner race of the bearing. Sometimes that's enough just to release it, but it still is struggling to pop all the way through. So I'll probably just pull this retainer off, and then we'll try and use some pullers and pull the whole bearing off. Well guys, some interesting things going on here. Everyone's got their safety glasses on, but where it was bent was right at the bottom of the auger. So
who bent it, Matt?
Next question. But basically what happened was there was a bit of dryer side mixed in with wheat, which that's to help stop weevils. And yeah, that stuff makes it very hard. It's very hard on augers and that, so it it bent the shaft just a little bit. So how confident are you, Brad?
Not very.
Not very.
I will see. No, he's confident.
Pretty good. Just turn it. Go now. Good. Yep, take that off. Just turn it that way a bit, Josiah.
Righto, well, we got this all balanced, and we found a bit of old flighting we had sitting around out the back. A little bit different diameter, only by about an inch total. So because this is at the bottom of the auger, it's not so bad. It'll also help it stop it bogging down. But anyway, it's nice and thick, so we won't be wearing through that anytime soon. Anyway, we'll whack it back in. Well, we're all done here, I hope. Just had to touch up, because it had been wobbling the bearing, it had cracked out a bit of the metal housing here, so yeah, welded that up, put it all on, put an actual more heavy duty bearing in there just while we're there, and yeah, got this all that back together, so ready to let it down. And we got the dozer down there, getting a bit more rock from the quarry. So yeah, we've been hearing that rumbling away in the shed all day. So yeah, just getting a bit more rock ready. We've also got the Deutz. I don't know which vlog it was, but I might throw it up in the corner of the screen there, the link to the video. But I did a little while ago work on the air conditioning on this because there was a leak, and I thought I saw some oil. Yeah, I thought it was just a TX valve seal, and I could see oil down in there. So I put new seals on all of that, but it's not working again. And I think there's the problem. So there's a big chunk of oil there, which would indicate that the evaporator itself is, yeah, it's got a hole in it. So kind of annoying and weird. These are a Denso unit, and I would say Denso probably usually the most reliable air conditioning components, but yeah, it's just a bit of an odd one. There is a bit of green little drill plastic shavings all through it, which I don't know whether that, we haven't done any drilling around here, so maybe that's come from factory or something like that, and maybe one of them's been rubbing on it and wearing away at something, but I really don't know. I can't see any obvious dents or anything, and being on the roof and the fan is right here, I wouldn't have thought that any like little tiny rocks or chunks of dirt would be sucked up and get thrown into the evaporator to damage it. So yeah, really not sure on that one, but we're just in the process of working out how to get a new one and go from there. So that's the story with that. Have to wait on phone call for that. I think we'll leave it there for the video. Just remember to hit the like button if you enjoy the videos, subscribe if you haven't already. We'll catch you in the next one.